Summoner's Choice Vote 2022 is just too predictable and boring. Marvel Realm of Champions is being shut down. And we're going to have a full kind of like look over this. MSID synergy situation. We're going to have a look to see if there's any update. And Size Matters node may be bugged in some content. Yes, hello everybody. Welcome back to the Marvel Contest of Champions news show, better known as the MCN for Friday. Make sure, as you always do, to hit the like button and subscribe with post notifications on. Also, when I post a video, you get to see it in your little sub boxes. And thank you very much to everybody that supports the channel as a YouTube member and as a Patreon. You're on screen right now. And also those that support on twitch.tv/RichTheMan live. I'm doing a little bit of variety tonight, and I'll be live streaming a little bit of Fall Guys and maybe some MCOC. I haven't really decided. But yeah, thanks to everybody that gives the free Amazon Prime sub a month, those that give tier 1 subs, bits and donations and support the channel. Look forward to seeing you later on for a little cheeky live stream. We've really got to get right into the show because there are some massive deep dives we have to do into two specific sections like Summoner Choice Votes and as well this Realm of Champions coverage and its ending. So let's kick off with the Size Matters bug. So many people have posted this. I mean, here's a good example right here. You can see that She-Hulk, who's a large size champion, she is reflecting back some damage, which is there. You can see 4,314, and it's glancing right there. That should not be the case with Size Matters, as SteveMan Wonder puts here, and also Blair had wanted to post this to say that having a heavy attacks glanced and is getting damage reflected from the particle node as being, you know, a size L champion. She should not have that, with plenty of video footage as well. And saying right here, the two videos are from variants 3.1 and variant 2.1.1, so there's plenty of evidence to kind of like show that is the case, because normally it's a, you know, they'll say, oh well, you can't use if you use your heavy attack, it's the only means of kind of doing damage on the rotation of something like Size Matters. Even more important because there is a node in I think it's map 7. I'm not sure if it's in map 6. I'm pretty certain it's in map 7, AQ map 7, that's there. So it better be working as intended as an option to interact. Many players coming in saying definitely bugged with new update. I've this device not updated to check, but yeah, it's definitely kind of like being shown that damage is being glanced on that, and I think that's that's from Suicide's reflecting there. In any case, Kabamzip says the team is aware of this issue, so it's confirmed as a bug right now. So yeah, if there's any kind of thing that you're doing variants, or you're doing AQ map 7 or something like that with Size Matters in, do have an air of caution if you're using large champions. For me, I'll just go and use XL champions and just like take myself away from any of that bug rubbish. And so yeah, just a little bit of a forewarning right there. No update just yet. And now, is there an update with the MSID UI error title? Essentially, use a champion, try to create a synergy around them, try to play arena, not working properly. That's what it's like at the moment. And oh god, yeah, it's been a bit annoying, especially if you want to grind up for stuff arena and having it each time and using synergies. On January 10th, Kabam0 said, thanks everyone for the info. I found the issue and looking into solutions. And as the furthest updated thing is, well, there's not really anything updated. We have a banner on the top of the forums that explains the current state, and further updates will be posted in the link there. At the moment, I believe there's no other updates, sadly, to this particular situation. I know they said they want to do it like a hot fix or something, but the thing is, I just don't think people, you'd be very optimistic to see this come in this month. I just don't know if I can see it, and that's the thing. 32.2.2 seems to be the problem, and I don't know if there's any kind of like hot fix. I mean, I just logged on today. I'm just gonna like, you know, check out if there's a hot fix going for the game, of which there is not. So sadly, there is no end in sight, and I gotta be honest, I think this will be something that will happen like next month's update at this rate. Next up, on to boring Summoner's Choice 2022. Why is it boring? Well, anything that's predictable is boring. It has no excitement, it has no spice, it has no underdog story, because everything that has been predicted when it comes to the results have happened the way that they have happened, through a little bit of fault from people not understanding stuff, but it is what it is at the end of the day. And this means that the results are as of what you can see on the screen. The winners of Bracket 1 was Agatha Harkness, Bracket 2, Beta Ray Bill, Bracket 3, Quicksilver, and the wild card was Baron Zemo. Predictable. If you didn't think this was going to be the result, then, well, I really don't know what to say, because it's perfectly obvious what was going to happen with this, especially with the wild card, which, again, I don't think people properly understood how it worked, because it was kind of like, I feel like the wild card should have been done after the results of bracket 1, 2, and 3 had been kind of issued. So that means that the wild card would either have been more, more scope of players' votes and kind of understanding of going, okay, well, the top ones are out of the field, I can then vote for the other ones. So yeah, that was a bit disappointing on this. But something that's very interesting is finding out the classes of the champions that would be on the final 4 to vote for, because, it's nice to know those bits of information. Frojo, my good buddy, OG of the MCC YouTubing space, says, can you please announce the classes of the 4 champions tomorrow? This will impact who I vote for going forward. And Kabam Mike says, yep, you'll find out the classes tomorrow. So as in today, because it's posted yesterday. So today, we're going to find out the classes before voting commences. And if I don't know, to hazard any kind of guess with this, Beta Ray Bill is going to be a debatable option as to where he falls into, but Agatha Harkness, Mystic, Quicksilver, Mutant. Well, yeah, I'll go with Mutant on that one. And Baron Zemo going for a, yeah, that's probably a skill. Now, this is going to be a very important bit of coverage now, but I am going to end the news after this with a nice wholesome story, because I like to leave people going into the weekend with something kind of like positive and happy. So we're going to talk about something sad at the moment, and that is Marvel Realm of Champions being shut down. This isn't the quintessential sad news of the year, but it is to a degree, because it is a game shutting down, and that is something that needs to be taken incredibly seriously. It needs to be taken seriously because in recent years we've had games like Marvel Battle Lines shut down, which I actually really enjoyed. I thought it was a fun little game. I didn't make any YouTube videos on it. I did a few live streams, but it was something that I played in kind of like secret or stuff, and I was like, but it was a good game and it was a lot of fun. But and it was very sad to see that shut down within the space of short space of time. I think it was like 2 years it ran for. So yeah, it is very sad, and it's a stark reminder to players that games don't last forever. In particular, look at Marvel Contest of Champions. After the 12.0 issues, after the instances of everybody in the community going at Kabam to start doing dev diaries and improve the game back in 2020, and the instances of the parry decks bug issues, the kickback from the free-to-play players on gifting 2021, it is a miracle this game is still running and still has a devoted player base that has free-to-play and spenders. And seeing Marvel Realm of Champions shut down is incredibly sad, as the game was launched in December of 2020 and yeah, at least survived 1 year. I've seen some incredibly terrible takes on the situation of Marvel Realm of Champions over the last 24 or 12 to 24 hours, and Kabam had their own faults. They had massive amounts of faults when it came to this game. I'm probably going to be doing a more deeper dive into this, including looking at my own personal experience with Kabam developers of Marvel Realm of Champions, which were not part of Marvel Contest. There's a lot of people have this kind of, theory that it was a lot of shared resources and they were still working on both games at the same time. And a lot of this is not the case. They've got people like creative directors who will be able to oversee. If you write a story for one game and go, there's a story and this is what we're doing, then you've got time to then, write another story for it. It's not a case that you are in there making things like quests, champions and stuff like that between 2 games. Marvel Realm of Champions had their own team that was brought in, and these are people that are going to be out of a job in 2 to 3 months. So hopefully they're able to be brought into Marvel Contest, because as I said, it was a fresh team that was created for this. And one of the big things that I did say at the point of launch of this game is games need money. If you look at the games world, this is how normally things work, is there is a budget of money, so like there's X amount of millions of dollars given to a game, and with that X amount of $1 million, they then have to fund the game's creation from a point of acquiring new kind of like developers to come in to make the game with them, create a new team, and when that money runs out and nobody's spending money in the game, it's gone. Now, I'm not going to rub anyone's nose in it, especially with Kabam. I did know that the right... I know a lot of people will say like, oh, I knew this was going to happen. Well, for me, when I had interaction with the developers as part of like a very kind of like close interaction, which I was able to get, and this was when at times I was giving feedback on matchmaking and the way that gear can be too overpowered to have a fair matchmaker, it just felt like the answers were not going in a certain way that I felt like, look, if the developer's not taking seriously the feedback that they're getting, it's just going to be a case of like, well, sorry, but this is what's going to happen to your game. And I think that's a big wake-up call for games developers if you don't listen to the people playing your game. And I logged up 4 months of beta and 4 months of kind of like grind in the global launch. So that's 8 months of playing. So I did 8 months in the game. And if your feedback after 8 months, including your beta feedback, is not being taken seriously by the developers, again, this is why it becomes problematic. So that just hopefully gives people a little bit of an insight into what went wrong. But I will do a full deep dive video. It just doesn't feel like the time at the moment to kind of go like, look, here's everything you went wrong in. Because I think that the best thing to do is just to give the game a little bit of a send-off, and I think that's probably like the best thing to do. So it's probably spark up the second channel to do some of that. But in any case, like, I do feel sorry for those that made this incredible passion project. And Gabriel Frazera did a fantastic job in creating a world. And creating a world which, yes, okay, in hindsight, it would be nice to kind of branch back over to Marvel Contest in some sort of way. It's just, unfortunately, it's just one of these situations that it just didn't go well for them. And I don't know if that's down to a lot of bad press that people gave the game right off the start. Yes, was it overpitched to something that it shouldn't have been, like it being a MOBA? But like, look at Marvel Future Revolution. It's an open world game. If you had made something like that was kind of like League of Legends-ish, you may have been onto something. Instead, it just missed the mark, and it was promoted terribly. But again, that's another thing, say, for another video. As you know, Gabriel Frazera says, like you can have the passion project of making a product that has these kind of amazing world stories, because it had an amazing story to it. But yeah, so some stuff just doesn't really kind of like land. And Gabriel Frazera says, unfortunately, the game's medium is a fickle one, and lots can go wrong outside of your control. Personally, I am proud of everything my team created for this product. I think they should be very proud. It's good from a story perspective, and it is a good enough game. It's just I'll have to go into another video. I don't want to. It's not a case of like rubbing people's nose in the situation. And it's kind of good as well to see some of the characters will be coming over to contest. But we also have one last extra long cutscene, Realm of Champions Elegy, that wraps up the current story by finally revealing who killed Maestro and pointing to the future of the Champions universe, which will continue in MCOC's ongoing story. So that's nice. It's like, I feel in some ways this is nice as a little kind of it's a moment in time. So that's what create this like as a time capsule. Marvel Realm of Champions time capsule as part of the MCOC kind of like universe that kind of branches over to something for a limited time and then bounces back. And this would have been cool to be like, I don't know, a little kind of play narrative as a special event type thing for contest. So I'm going to treat it in my mind a bit like that, and that will be that thing that not dies but kind of lives as that little kind of memory forever and always. Finally, I want to thank everyone who supported this game. To quote one of my favourite Pixies movies, the new needs friends. It did, and you all have been great travelling companions into the unknown. Lovely. Write the next chapter of this story in the battle realm, and I hope some of you will stay with us. You're all champions in my book. There's also kind of like this here. I think it was. Is this? Yeah. That said, rest assured that this isn't the last chapter of the Battle World saga. This universe was designed to be shared by more than one game, and I wouldn't be surprised if some of the realm's characters, including the beloved Barons, in the Contest of Champions. And I think that's nice. Some of the Barons are amazing, by the way. The final thing I want to end on is that I know that a lot of time we talk about, you know, the imbalance of the game from the point of overspending, but I want this to be a very big wake-up call to people and understand that, look, games need free-to-play players and they need spenders. If you don't think that games need that, then you are living in an absolute bubble of just ignorance and misunderstanding. And this is it. This is when things go bad for games, and this is when games die. And I'm so, thankful that we have a community that has been going for you know, this year will hopefully be the 8th year of the game kind of running, and you know, games need to continue on, and in order to kind of like bring communities together, which we have an amazing community. But that's just the thing. Games need spenders and games need free to play. They need free to play for the numbers. They need spenders in order to kind of keep things going with the servers. So as much as we kind of like go, look, there's incredibly imbalances between free to play and spenders, which there are, and there will always continue to be, at least to say that we have a game in Marvel Contest of Champions that is still going. And I think that's just the thing of going like, it's sad to see any game, regardless of what you think about Kabam, it's just sad to see a game kind of like be shut down and die. So yeah, cheers Realm of Champions for the time that you had, and yeah, nothing really more to say on that one. So let's end with a positive and nice story. And the positive and nice story I want to end on is amazing work by Berserk Revenant, who has done this absolutely sick Cosmic Ghost Rider. As a lot of you know, Berserk Revenant, and link is in the description to all of his stuff, as well as I know that he's going to be doing a YouTube video on this to kind of cover the process of the construction, has done a handcrafted. If you haven't seen any of Berserk Revenant's handcrafted sculpts, they're amazing, okay? So the detail and effort that's put into the creation of this, from the point of creating trim on armor right the way through to, you know, the glossiness that's put on, or painted gloss that's kind of put onto some of the shoulder pads here with the spikes to them. You know, it's amazing. I'm glad he didn't put in the dome, the helmet dome, because it just, I think, would take away from the kind of the spectacle of kind of creating an amazing Cosmic Ghost Rider. And especially you can see where it kind of glistens as well, where he's put the paint. There's so many kind of fine-tuning things that I just love. I think it's Berserk Revenant is an incredibly talented person, and go and check, maybe even commission him. Like, commission him to make a sculpture of a Marvel Contest of Champions champion for you personally. Do that today. You know, links are in the description to him. Give him a DM and say like, look, you know, I'd like to commission you for something. Because like, look, this is sick. Even to the point of the chain. I don't know if that's a real chain or that's like a handcrafted chain, but it's like, look, the fire elements to it, it is fire. Quite literally. And there we go. That has been the Marvel Contest of Champions news show for Friday. Have a lovely weekend, whatever you're doing. I've got a few videos to post, a few sponsored things, because hey, January money on YouTube is terrible and I have bills to pay. Yeah, cheers everybody. Bye bye.